Hello and welcome to the show. Today we have the much anticipated part two of my conversation with David Banner. I've heard a lot of great feedback regarding part one. I'd love to hear from you also regarding this one. It's a lot of great discussion in this particular conversation as we talk about things such as how he obtained his success, also talking about our young people and some of the things that we can do to really encourage and empower them. So take a look at this, shoot me your feedback, go online. ChrisHowellOnline.com is the website. ChrisHowellOnline.com is the website. Shoot me some feedback. Let me know what you think about it. Take a look at this. Yeah. So going back to your music, let's talk about Black Fist.
Uh-oh. So some people talk about Black Fist and the lights start cutting on.
That won't happen today, I promise. If it do, we'll hang up and call right back. How about that?
All right.
But let's talk about this, man. I mean,
Skype might start blinking.
let's talk about this. I've only seen the video. Of course, I've seen the video and listened to it. So let's talk about the message you want folks to. Well, first of all, how did you lead to even put this project together?
Um, Black Fist was sort of well, the video and the song came in two different ways. The video is a big topic because a lot of people don't want the video to be shown and they want it to be taken down off of YouTube and these types of things because we were aggressive back towards a crooked cop.
Yeah.
A cop that I made sure that people knew that he was crooked and he smiled about it and the television told you that he was wrong. But the song was sort of me talking to especially Southern blacks. I honestly think that we have been fed so many lies, from so many different levels that black people really don't know the truth. I've been able to travel around the world. I've been able to go to Africa. I had an opportunity to go to the last slave port, in Tanzania and Zanzibar, and I've been able to see things, and I've started a library that I want people from all races, but especially black people, to be able to come to my house or my farm or my mansion and study. You can't take the books away.
Yeah.
So there's some things that I found out, and I really wanted to break up some of the lies. I'm gonna give you an example, and a lot of older people may not agree with me, but they can't say it's not the truth. For the most part, our parents went with Martin Luther King. Would you agree with that?
I would agree.
Okay. Well, look at where our kids are right now. I think we made the wrong decision.
So you think we should have went with Malcolm?
Oh yes, 100. Because we see, you said that we went with Martin.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
All right.
So
now,
how do you think things would be different today had we went with Malcolm?
I don't know because there's an infinite amount of things that could have happened.
Yeah.
What I do know is what happened when we went with Martin. Malcolm, I mean, if we're going to talk about what if, both of them could have been wrong.
Right.
But we do see where we are. And when right before Martin died, he told Harry Belafonte that I think that I've integrated my people into a burning house. So the Martin Luther King that we praise and hold up during Black History Month, the Martin Luther King when he was dying didn't like that guy. So what I'm saying is the system pieces our history and our heroes together. That's why they don't give them to you until they're dead, because they can formulate even at the end of Muhammad Ali's life. You see the white people saying Muhammad Ali was a man that transcended color. If anything, Ali made sure that you knew that he was black and that he was Muslim, and his last name is Muhammad.
They certainly didn't praise him when he was alive. You're absolutely right.
So
It's always after you're dead they praise you.
Black Fist was sort of not even just my ode to my people, but it was also to bring up some things that I really wanted to make my people uncomfortable by thinking about some things, because America has been so painful to black people that sometimes we just want to get along and get out. And if we get
Mm,
along to get out, that means that we don't use
man.
the brain that God has given us. And you know, when I speak, sometimes a lot of people get mad at me, and I tell them like, y'all always talking to me about Jesus, but Jesus said, I did not come here to bring you comfort. Jesus walked in the church. He didn't hang out in the churches. He hung out with the people. He turned over chairs and tables. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
He went against the corruptive religions of that time.
Right.
And since Jesus is the Christ, Jesus didn't believe in Christianity because he's the Christ. So what did he
That,
believe in?
that is true.
You know? So in me saying that, man, I just wanted to make Black Fist to really make our people think. And sometimes you have to piss them off to wake them up.
So, what is the mess? I mean, certainly, like you talked about, there's some controversies surrounding it. I guess, what is that
But
one message you want people to take away from it?
let me stop.
Okay.
It's not controversy because I don't care what they think.
Okay.
The only controversy when one side says something and the other side says something back. I'm not gonna say nothing back to them. I only care what Black people think.
Okay. So, what is the message you want black people to take away from it?
Well, let me tell you what I believe. I believe music is a direct reflection with you and the Most High, and it flows. The way that other people interpret the music is up to them and where they are with God. Erica Badu taught me something. She said, David Banner, you have to stop explaining your music. Because imagine if you really felt me and you listened to my music and my music changed your life and you really felt like I was talking to you, and then I explained the song and it wasn't what you thought it was.
Hmm.
You know, I make
Yes.
my music, I make my music to be a conduit for the message and how the universe is working with you. Just for the most part, Black Fist for me personally was just that we not laying down and we not sitting down and we not the roots dudes that we just talked about. Like
Yeah.
I honestly believe that cops won't stop killing kids until there's repercussions, whether it's financial or it's from a life perspective. White supremacy only respects two things: it's the loss of life or the loss of finance.
Yeah.
And the same God that white people talk about us, apparently they wasn't believing in that God during slavery or when they were killing Native Americans or buffaloes. Like for me, I you're not showing me God. You talk to
Hmm.
me about God for control. You
Yeah.
don't live that God that you talk about, and that's what Black Fist was about.
Man, good stuff. So, how has your faith, David, guided you through the success that you've been able to obtain?
Um, that's all I've ever really had coming from Mississippi.
Hmm.
You know, and the one thing that I like about my relationship with what I believe in as far as God is concerned is God allowed me to see some very harsh things without me breaking. You know, because one of the saddest things for me, and I'm just opening up because I'm enjoying this interview.
Hmm.
You know, when I started learning some things and God started revealing some things to me, I started thinking about my grandmother and the things she believed in
Yes.
and some of the things she died for. Um, my faith has taken me all over the world. Uh, I believe that the true gift is to be able to pull from things unseen.
Hmm.
I was the first rapper to become this successful out of Mississippi. I didn't have anybody to look for
Yes.
or look forward to. I didn't have any example. The only thing that we had where I'm from was the Mississippi Dope Dealers. The official basketball or football team, you know. And the people who were from Mississippi, they would usually lie or they would
Yes.
never come back. I'm not gonna call their names. They know it's one of the biggest football players in the world. You know, said he's never coming back to Mississippi. And from that
Man.
point, I wanted to tell him that I really didn't want him to come back.
Yeah.
You know, with the exception of somebody like a Walter Payton, most people who came from that pain didn't come back. So my faith is all that I had. And the one thing that I realized, and I just want to tell everybody this: most people say that they believe in God, but I don't believe them.
Hmm.
If God bounced you literally on his, her, or its knee, you wouldn't be afraid to lay up on a cross. You wouldn't be afraid to walk in front of a car. You wouldn't be afraid to do things nobody else are doing. One of the reasons why I can make black fists and not worry about it, because as long as it's not coming from a bad place, when I say the things that I say about white people and America, these are things that they have done to our people.
Mm-hmm.
When we make movies about bodies hanging from trees, they have really done that from black people.
Right.
When I make black fists, that's totally made up.
Yeah.
When white folks are scared of the Black Panthers, you never seen white bodies hanging in the back of some Black Panthers pictures, have you?
That is true.
Seen black bodies hanging from the KKK. So in me saying that, like, my faith is all that I ever had, and I feel the presence of God. Like, I'm gonna tell you something, and some people think that I'm crazy. Like, there's some things that I know. It's not fact. Like my album, even if people buy one copy, just it only said one. Like, I ain't talking about everybody buy one. I'm talking about
just one. Yeah.
I still know what it is. Because think about most great artists who have transcended time. My mother said, being a visionary is a blessing and a curse. You're blessed to see things people have never seen before, but you're cursed to sit in them alone. So I believe sometimes people always say faith is jumping off the mountain. I don't believe that. I believe true faith is you jumping off the mountain, God letting you hit the concrete and waiting to see if you're going to curse his or her name. And then you fly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's easy you can be just crazy and jump off the mountain. But real faith is hitting the ground and failing and still knowing you can fly.
Hello, I'm Chris Howell. The Chris Howell Foundation's mission is to raise awareness regarding HIV and AIDS in communities where risk is at its highest. We've had the opportunity to host a number of events right here in Dallas County, and with those events have turned out great with testing opportunities as well as raising awareness and education to those who've attended. We could really use your support in carrying this mission further. We want to do more events not only in Dallas, but in other communities as well. Go to the website and then consider making a donation at chrishowellfoundation.org. We could really use your support. So when you say the part about God bouncing you off his knee, and once you've experienced that, you could walk, I think you said walk in front of a moving car. I guess basically what you're simply saying is you walk without fear because you and God you have that type of relationship with God.
Well, I'm not going to say I don't walk with fear. God said you don't walk with a spirit of fear. God didn't say not to fear.
Yes.
Fear is sort of like your empty sign on your gas tank telling you need some more gas.
Yes.
Fear is in us for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we are supposed to consider fear, not make decisions based on fear.
I like it.
Sometimes I waver. That's what, like, I take some of the stories that come and some of the parables that come out of the Bible as literal stories. Like, if you remember when your guy was walking on the water, then he started doubting, then, you know what I'm saying? Then he started, stuff started changing.
Yep.
Well, similar. Like, as our faith and what we believe wavers, that's when our abilities. I read something one time and said the two things that get between you and God is fear and doubt. That's one of the reasons why they always give us these stories of hell and stories of the devil and stories of all of these different things. My focus is only on God and God's love. I don't fear other things because truly, if God designed me and God is the mind of all, then he, she, or it knows what I was going to do in the first place. Why send me to hell?
Man.
People don't want to hear that though, bro.
That's true. That is true.
Like, I don't, why fear? There's nothing to fear.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was going to go to that place, I was going to go anyway when I was made.
Mm-hmm.
If what people say is true, but that's where I disagree with some people, and I tell them the only reason why I would consider a heaven or hell is because we truly have a choice. I don't really believe in destiny. I believe things were destined to happen, but you can pray all day for a job. Try not filling out that. Try not to fill out that. I haven't had a job in a while. So
The application.
hey, thank you, brother. I'm the boss. Try sitting in the house and not filling out an application to see how many jobs you get.
Yeah. That's
Um,
not destiny at all, is it?
right, man. So I just, and one of the things that I want to tell people, man, is that especially black people, I don't mind anybody's religion. I just hate when we become oppressive with our beliefs the same way that they were oppressive to us.
Hmm.
And how we don't consider anything but what has been fed to us.
Yeah.
And God is everything. See, people act like God did not create everything, good and bad. Like, I believe there's some things that we're not supposed to do as human beings, but God is everything,
Yes.
good, bad, and indifferent.
Yeah.
So
Well,
for
he
me,
certainly allows it.
right,
Yeah. He
yeah.
certainly allows it.
Um, but it exists. So for me, as far as faith is concerned, I don't believe that God is such a cruel God that he would let me think something that I couldn't accomplish. But am I man enough to walk it through? That's on me,
Hmm.
not God.
Yeah.
I have to do it. The blessing was he, she, or it let me think it.
Hmm.
It's even with me saying he, she, or it.
Yeah.
People would say, God is a man. That's pretty impressive. How do you know? Everybody tell me, what about all these things they do? Have you seen God?
Well, I've got to admit, I mean, certainly when you first said it, I mean, I thought that same thing, but then I also realized you're right. I don't know. So I can't say you're wrong because I don't know.
And how do you think that makes little girls feel?
Well, that is true.
It's oppressive, man. And I'm telling you, bro, these are things that I learned in life in general,
Yeah.
bro. To not push my beliefs on somebody. I want to tell you something, and I know the basis of this show, bro, but I think just because I don't know, I'm getting a certain type of vibe from you. I think I can tell you this.
Mhm.
There's this author named Don Miguel Ruiz.
Okay.
He wrote a book called The Mastery of Love. And in that book, he said something that changed my whole entire life.
Hmm.
He said, if God is what most of us think God is, that God doesn't need your help. Whatever God is, whether it's what the Buddhists believe or whoever it is, we're going to have to deal with that when we die.
Right.
Whatever it is, good, bad, or indifferent. So God don't care whether you believe or not. He said, God doesn't need your help or for you to fight wars. That's man.
Hmm.
Fight wars to be an evangelist. But he said, Allah does. Allah needs your help every day. Allah needs you to tell something different every day, to be on TV every day, to knock at your door to remind you of it. God doesn't need you. We need God. It doesn't. And see, so when all of these people push all of this stuff on us, that's for them to control us. Because if I introduce you to something that you think is omnipotent, then you owe me. Then you're going to listen to me. Then you're going to come and bring your money and your daughter's money and your child's money to me. Everybody talk about God, bro. Like, a lot of times when people come and talk to me about God, bro, I don't see God, bro. I remember, and I want to say this, man.
So what do you see? I want to ask you real quick. What do you see? You see someone trying to push their agenda? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know because I don't know everybody's thoughts.
Okay.
I don't want to generalize because, again, to me that's oppressive.
Hmm.
But I see a lot of people pushing agendas, and a lot of times we subconsciously don't know. But if we see that whatever that person is doing is successful, like let's say if a child grows up and say, well, wow, I see that preacher. The preacher got the Benz. All the ladies in the church like the preacher. I don't want to sell dope. Preacher got a Benz, got a private jet. I want to be a preacher. And since I see success in the way that he preaches, I'm going to preach just like that. Same way these kids sell dope. Rap didn't start off being everybody being trap rappers and talking about dope. But when America started allowing that to be successful, then kids was like, yeah, man, whatever y'all talking about, but trap rap is selling.
Mm-hmm.
It's no different with religions. And the thing that I want people to know is that, I even watch people who, I remember when I was giving money one time, and when I was, really, really deep into one particular sect of religion, and the people asked me, "Are you giving your money specifically just to the church?" And I remember telling them, "Well, like, I I want to help all hungry black people. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I believe God would give to everybody
Mm-hmm.
because everybody hasn't had the experience. What if his mom or dad was any other religion? Or what if his mom was atheist
Yeah.
and they never experienced anything? So I personally believe that true religion is inside
Mm-hmm.
and that there is something to be learned from anything. I do believe that you need a base or you'll be everywhere
Mm-hmm.
and you might find yourself somewhere in the dark with a candle. but but what I do believe as descendants of Africans, most of the things that we know in America is stuff that was passed down to us from our oppressor.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just ask people to do more research.
Okay. That's
Be-
fair.
because most people only have America sets it up where most of us only have time
Mm-hmm.
to deal with what's given us because bills month, we gotta do this month, that month,
Right.
this hour. But I first of all would like to tell you thank you for even allowing me to give my opinion because I know in some circles that my opinion isn't popular because I tear down lies.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I will say this. I mean, certainly, I believe in any time you want to dialogue with someone, you have to respect their opinion. You can't invite someone on a show and say, well, you're only going to help me to push my agenda forward. No, I invited you on because I wanted to hear your perspective. I want to hear your opinion. And I really want to hear even more about how you're really impacting these young people. Because as I talked to some folks who attended the event here in Dallas, I mean, man, they walked away from there saying nothing but great things and how they want you to come back.
I want to come back. That's what I was. Listen, I'm being honest with you. I do believe that I'm a visionary,
Yes,
but I never saw what's going on in these lectures.
man.
Like I haven't experienced it, man. It's really touching, bro. Like I'm watching what I'm doing almost like it's not me,
Yeah.
and to even be the conduit of something that I believe is positive. And like I tell people, I always tell people, I don't. This is how I start my lectures. My name is David Banner. I don't care what you think about me. I just want you to think. And I want to tell you something. I've heard this from several people, but especially my Muslim brothers.
Mm-hmm.
They always tell me, David Banner, I like that you're not connected to any religion because you don't drive anybody away. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
wants to know if the big thing in rap right now is David Banner Muslim or Christian. And I always tell people, don't try to put me in the box. Define me by my deeds.
Man.
Because again, people say what they want to say. They don't know what Jesus was.
Yeah.
What I really think is the same people that killed him, like same thing they did to Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X. They took a revolutionary because they couldn't stop him. And then after he was gone, then I can tell whatever story I want to about him.
So so that's your thought regarding the Bible?
No, well, this is what I tell you. I try to stay away from my particular thoughts because religion is so personal, and especially with black people, we base our whole entire I remember something that was said one time. for the most part, conventional religions that black people believe in America were either given to us by Arabs or white people. And John Henry Clark said that black people are more religious than the people who gave them their religion. And we see that every day. We are much more spiritual. And boy, let me tell you something. You let a black person kill a black person, your grandma say, we're going to pray for him. We're going to say, that boy going to hell. We're going to send him to hell because we're going to go over there and make sure he get there quicker.
Yeah.
Let a white cop kill a black kid and he wrong. We're going to pray for him. Yeah. You know, white folks do something to black people, we praying and marching.
Yeah.
If black people kill black people, we going to war.
Final question for you. What is the hope for our young people? I mean, I know you're sharing it in your lecture series, but share with our audience today. What is our hope for our young people?
To go inward and not outward. I do believe the one thing that we do get right when we pray is that we close our eyes. You know, everything that we really need, God gave to us. If you notice, babies don't need much. They already know how to swim. You know what I'm saying? They know danger. Baby knows not to go when he crawling to go off the corner. You know, God gave us everything we need, and then the world embeds fear in us. You know, I want these children to know that they are divine. And for the most part, to be critical thinkers. You know, if anything, I'll tell you, if anything that I want children to do is to be critical thinkers. With all of these cell phones and computers were supposed to assist the man, not think for the man. Yeah. You know, and I want our children to be able to write, to do mathematics, and to remember a phone number. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Our kids are rapping. Their children are building apps and computers and doing mathematics and science. And to, you know, if my history stands correct, our people, melanated people, created math, science, you know, monotheism, the concept of monotheism. Yeah. And so, you know, it's funny, man. When I found math used to be hard to me too, until I find out that black people created math.
Yeah, made it interesting, huh?
Then it became instantly easy. Oh, my great.
A little bit more pride in that thing, huh?
That's why it's easy for me to count this money.
David, thank you so much.
All right, brother.
All right, peace.